My name is Ismail Rashid. I teach at Vassar College. I am a historian of Africa. I focus mainly on colonialism. I also teach classes on the African diaspora. I have been a long-term member of the West African Research Association. I've been a board member since 2011. I've acted as secretary of the organization, and I'm currently the vice president of the association. I've also served on the fellowship committee, and currently I am on the program committee of the association. My research is focused on two broad areas. The first area is looking at political protest and resistance of enslaved people, of peasants, and of marginalized people in West Africa against British colonialism. I focus specifically on Sierra Leone. I look at the establishment of colonialism very broadly in Sierra Leone from 1890 to about 1955, 1960. So on the cusp, up to the cusp of independence. My second area of research looks at contemporary political and social conflicts in West Africa. So I focus particularly on the civil wars that Sierra Leone and to some extent Liberia experienced in the 1990s and the early 2000s. My focus is specifically on the role played by young people in those conflicts as perpetrators, but also as victims of the various types of violence that people in these two countries experienced. One of the things that have surprised me about researching these two different fields in Sierra Leone is the way people talk about the past and present in ways that seem very difficult to extricate both. For example, in 2002 and in 2012, this is immediately after the conflict in Sierra Leone, and then 10 years after the conflict in Sierra Leone, I actually went to the field and interviewed people in northern Sierra Leone. One of the things I was very surprised about was that they had a sense of the past. They had a sense of colonialism, but it was very difficult for them to separate that from the recent trauma that they experienced during the conflict. It was as if the past was crashing into the present very vehemently. And it's fair enough when you consider that people have had to deal with so much violence, and they're still dealing with that much violence, the consequences of the violence, especially of the recent civil war in their lives. The issue of social unrest, of social protest and conflict continues to be very important for the people of Sierra Leone and the people of Liberia, for West Africans in general. But I also think it's an issue that is of global importance. We live in an interconnected world, and violence in one particular part of the world can have serious consequences and implications for other parts of the world. The conflicts in Liberia and Sierra Leone were eventually ended with huge international support and intervention. Both countries had large contingents of UN peacekeepers, which were supported by members of the international community. So these conflicts were local, but they were also of global significance and importance. In terms of changing views on my research and my understanding of history and the present in Sierra Leone and Liberia, is I understand now much more clearly the importance of history for people, but also the way in which for people who are struggling from day to day to rebuild their lives, why the work that I'm doing might have significance and importance for them, but might not be immediately as relevant to them as it is for me. I keep continuing to be surprised by the resilience in West Africa, It's an amazing place to work in, and on a yearly basis, I am in the field. I'm talking to people. I'm looking at the archive. So wonderful, nice region to look at. Hope that at some particular point in your life, you stop by in West Africa, looking either Sierra Leone, Liberia, or one of the lovely 15 other countries that we have there.